You know, all this talk about chainsaws and not a single person dies via chainsaw in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Is that weird to anyone else? With a title like The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you would probably expect the movie to be hot garbage, but it turned out to be one of the best exploitation movies ever made, and one that still holds up to this very day. It tells the story of 5 friends who are on their way to a graveyard to pay respects to a loved one. However, they are stopped on the highway and kidnapped by a truly horrible family, and the scariest member of their family, Leatherface, is waiting in the wings. This movie was among the many inspired by the serial killer Ed Gein, who also inspired Psycho and Silence of the Lambs. And director Tobe Hooper made this movie almost immediately after film school. It was made for less than $150,000, but it turned out to be quite successful. But for a movie called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there's surprisingly not that much violence in there. Oh, don't get me wrong, there's violence, but you would expect something more exploitative from an exploitation movie. But despite this movie was still banned in several countries due to its violent content, so I guess for some countries, even some just still was more than enough. While it seems really silly to talk about the actor under the mask, Gunnar Hansen, the man under the Leatherface mask, is truly great. He brings a physicality to the role that I don't think would be accomplished if it were literally anyone else. Leatherface has no lines, instead just sounds like it's scary in the movie, I promise. But the truly scary part comes from Leatherface's family, who are just completely horrible. This is a group of people that you would never want to meet, at least electively. They are the lowest of the low. And the finale is worth the price of admission alone. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it, but it does make the movie worth it. So if you've got the stomach for it, I'd say check it out if you haven't.